All right, so today I wanted to make a video in regards to the 10 lessons that I learned in my 20s and into my 30s. And as I ascend into my 40s this year, next year, I kind of lose count, to be honest with you. But as I go into my 40s, I wanted to kind of share this because I think that this will be a valuable thing for those of you who are going through that season of your life. If you find yourself in your 20s and your early 30s right now, this will be the video for you. Now, these lessons are not in any particular order, not even in any sort of importance order, right? It's really just lessons that I learned, that I picked up, that I said I think these can be valuable things for young men to understand. So let's get into it. Lesson number 1, slow down when you speak and listen to the conversation. You see, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I used to speak very, very fast. Here's an example.
Are they popping up all over Facebook, and why are they talking all these things about boot camps and gym memberships and personal training and life-changing stuff, and why are they all over the place, and why does Coach C wear shirts that are way too small?
And because I was speaking so fast, I wasn't really giving anybody any other airspace to speak for me to hear them out and for me to actually communicate in the way that I needed to close deals, to build businesses, to develop relationships. I was just constantly go, 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 go. Now, there is some advantage to having energy. There is some advantage to being able to have your youth. But you got to understand that if you're going to communicate with other people, that other people are at different points of their life. So if I'm a young guy and I'm trying to communicate with somebody who's in their 40s and somebody who speaks as slowly as I do now, I want to be able to slow down, speak to them, and get to their level, right? You have to be able to meet them where they're at. And the problem is that when you're young, you're not thinking about that. You're just kind of thinking about rambling. So slow down the rambling. Understand that a conversation is really more about you listening to the person, understanding their needs, understanding where they're currently at, and how can you fill the other voids of the conversation with some good intellectual speaking. Number 2, having children is an honor, not a burden. My mistake that I made was I was always just kind of taking for granted the time that I had with my kids because they were so small. It almost felt like a burden in what I was trying to achieve in my life, right? I was trying to achieve so many goals and trying to do so many things in my life that when it came to taking care of the babies and it came to changing diapers, or it came to doing these sort of things, or as they grew and they went through kindergarten and I didn't want to show up to their little graduations, or I didn't want to go to certain events that, that's part of parenting. It was a bother to me. It was getting me uncomfortable because I don't want to do all that. I don't have time for that. And what I realize now in my late 30s going into my 40s, and my kids are 21, 20, 19, and 14, my kids are young adults now. And because they're young adults, when I look back and I think about the time that they were younger, I have so many times where I wish I would have been more present. I have so many more times where I wish I didn't complain about them being a burden in that moment because it was inconvenient for me. Learn how to inconvenience yourself a little bit. Understand that parenting is inconvenient. Parenting is not meant to be for your convenience. Parenting is meant to be self-sacrifice for you to pour your energy and your love into these human beings that, by the way, you created. Number 3, pull up your pants. This might sound a little funny, but the fact of the matter is that learning how to dress properly, it's important. The way that you come off to people, the way that you produce the product that is in front of them, the way that you have an introduction with somebody, it's important. You can't be showing up and looking sloppy. You can't be showing up and unshaven. You can't be showing up and have your pants sagging all the way down like when you were in 5th grade. You have to understand that at a certain point, you have to grow yourself up and you have to grow your dress code as well. Right? You have to become more mature in your choices in the clothing that you wear. You shouldn't be wearing certain t-shirts anymore. You shouldn't be wearing certain hats anymore. You shouldn't be wearing certain types of clothing that are not really helping you look like the person that you say you are. So you can say you're sophisticated, you can say that you're a good person to do business with, but if you're showing up with torn pants, you're showing up with t-shirts that just have graphics on it that look like you're 15 years old again, That's not a good look. You got to understand that it's time to grow out of all of that stuff. It's time to pull up your pants. Number 4, clean your damn house. When I understood that there was a correlation between the way that I was feeling stressed out and the way that the house was looking, and I understood that clutter just equals a cluttered mind, it was a game changer for me. I started to automatically start to try to tidy up my place and try to make it as clean as possible. Now, I still struggle some days. There's some days where I don't get around to it. There's some days where the house, I'll wake up and I'm like, how did it get to here? But the fact of the matter is that you want to be able to have your house and your surroundings cleared. You want to take the trash out of your car. You want to take your car for a car wash on a Sunday evening going into your Monday and make sure that things are clean. Make sure that things smell good. Make sure that your hygiene is on point. Clean your damn house. And I don't mean just your physical house. I mean all of these other things that I've mentioned have to be in check. All of these things have to be placed in priority with you. Because again, you were showing up as the package. You were showing up. And if people are coming to your house and it's filthy, that's not a good look. When people are trying to do business with you, they happen to see your car, how filthy it is inside and out. It's not a good look for you. Clean your damn house. Number 5, separation is imperative for growth. I made so many mistakes when it came to this. I was trying to hold on to relationships. I was trying to hold on to friendships for so long because I was just, for some reason, attached to those friendships, relationships, the situations, the jobs, whatever it was, when I didn't realize that the very thing that I was holding on to was holding me back from becoming the person that I was going to become. You have to realize that separation in a time that you're going to be created or molded into the person that you're going to be separated for a while. There's got to be a growth curve. There's got to be a time where God removes you from a situation and all of a sudden now you're feeling alone. You don't really have many friends. You're like, I don't know who to call anymore because the skills that you are obtaining are not like the ones in which you came from. So the people that you used to kick it with, the people that used to be okay to hang with, they're not okay to hang with anymore. They don't even understand where you're coming from anymore. And that weird space that you find yourself in is exactly what is supposed to happen. You should be able to look at your phone and say, there's not many people I can call here because they just can't relate to the situations that I'm going through. They can't relate to the things that I am experiencing in this season of growth. That's okay. Surround yourself with positive videos online. Find some mentors. Pay somebody to be around you and to speak life into you. Separation is imperative for growth. Number 6, your heroes aren't as impressive as they used to be. This one was hard for me to swallow. You see, when I was growing up and I looked up to certain people, whether they were movie stars, they were rap stars, whatever industry they were in, when I started to grow up and I started to meet some of these people, I quickly understood, oh, these are human beings just like me. And furthermore, they have hangups just like I do. They are human like me. They could be mean, they could be sad, they could be mad, they could be whatever it is. And if I got around them during a bad moment, it ruined everything for me. So understanding that your heroes, the ones that you used to look up to, they may not jive with you when you begin to grow. And that is a great indicator that you're growing and that your growth is happening in real time. When you start to turn on a certain song or you start to turn on a video and somebody's speaking and you're like, I don't really relate to this anymore because I'm a grown man. For instance, if there was a rapper that you used to look up to and you used to listen to him and his lyrics were dope and it got you through college and it got you through, high school or whatever it was. But now when you turn it on, all you hear is immature lyrics. When you turn on an interview and you hear him still speaking the same way that he did 20 years ago, guess what? That's an indicator that all of that trash you've already grown past. All of those things you already moved on from. So realize that those things are going to happen. Realize that your heroes are not as impressive as you thought they were. Number 7, you got to learn to innovate. You got to learn to be quick on your toes and learn how to create something from nothing, right? This might sound a little weird, but everything that you are hoping for, everything that you're trying to pursue, it's right here and it's right here. You got to understand that your mind is a beautiful and powerful system. It comes with all these ideas and you have to be able to hone in on what those ideas are. Start to write things down and you can see your ideas come out of you. You see, you were creative because you were created by a creator, which means if you were created in his image, you have that creativeness inside you. So learn that innovation is going to be one of your best friends. If you want to get to the place that you want to get to, innovation is going to be the ticket. You got to keep your mind clear, and you got to make sure that you're doing things that are necessary to keep that innovation flowing. That leads us to our next one. Number 8, keep your mind away from pollution. You got to keep a clear mind. So you remember back in your teen years, maybe your early 20s, when you were partying? Listen, let me tell you something. That partying can't last long in your 20s anymore. If you're 25 and you used to party like crazy when you're 21, or maybe you're still partying like that, you're going to start to feel it. And you got to understand that if you are going to be innovative, if you're going to show up, if you're going to present a great package to people who want to do business with you, who want to give you a job, who want to give you opportunities, you got to clean it up, man. And one of those ways that you clean it up is you got to stop drinking, partying, staying out late, and doing all these things, smoking, vaping, all this stuff that is pointless. It is literally pointless to do any of these things. And all it does is gives you fog brain. It takes away from your health. It takes away from your energy. It takes away from your goals. It makes you sleepy and lazy. All these things slow you down in your pursuit to greatness. Why would you willingly slow yourself down? Why would you willingly postpone your greatness because you want to have a toke or a drink? Makes zero sense. Understand that polluting your mind, polluting your body is only setting you back. Number 9, keep your word to yourself to create confidence. Keep your word to yourself to create confidence. You know what gives a man confidence? When he knows he's actually going to do what he said he was going to do. Well, you know what gives people confidence in you? When you say you're going to do something and you show up and you actually do it. So confidence is based on what it is that you said you were going to do, and do you believe that you will actually do it? Do you believe that you will be a man of your word? Do you believe that you will stick to the things that you said in the moment of saying them? Right? Because a lot of times people do this, but they don't do this. They can't walk it out because when the time comes to actually pair those words with walking, they're not doing it. With any sort of action, it just becomes very hard for them to do because they didn't actually think they were going to have to do it. They were just talking big talk. You want confidence? You got to pair the talking with the walking, put it to action, see what happens to your confidence. Number 10 is kind of in the same thought. Your words mean nothing unless you have actions that follow up. Your words mean nothing unless you have actions that follow up. You know, sometimes we get fooled into thinking that we can just do lip service and people will just like us and people will just kind of fall for the scam. My friend, I'm telling you right now, if you can prevent this from going into your 30s and to your 40s and not being the person that just talks and jibber jabbers and says and talks big game and doesn't back it up, that's not the person that you want to be. You want to be the person that if you say something, you're going to execute on it. If you say something, you're going to get it done. If you say something, you are going to show up and give everything that you got to make that thing happen. Your words are nothing unless you follow them up with actions. These are the things that I learned during my 20s and early 30s that really helped me to develop into the person that I became today. Now, I have a sneaky suspicion that everything that I'm learning in my late 30s, going to my 40s, when I get into my 50s, man, I am going to be a solid individual because at that point, I'm going to have more wisdom. So do me a favor. If you know somebody that can use this information, hit the share button, send them the video, and hit the like button and comment below what are the things that you learned in your 20s and your 30s that helped you become a better man. What are those things that you discovered that now can help somebody else? Drop them in the comments below. I want this channel to be something where we're sharing back and forth and we understand that there are things and tools that we can use to become the men that we want to become. This is Cesar Hernandez, aka Coach C, and I'll see you soon. Hey, what's up? This is Cesar Hernandez, aka Coach C, one more time, reminding you to make sure that you hit the subscribe button, turn off the notifications so that way you know every time that I upload a video like this. And I'll see you in the comments section. Let's dialogue. Let's talk about what lessons did you glean from today's video. I look forward to hearing from you. We'll talk to you soon.